Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It's your manifestation goddess, Nadia.Rucker, Nadia Victoria, and your real estate homegirl here, coming to you on this Wednesday night. I keep wanting to say Thursday. I mean, it's 30 minutes away at this point. But thank you for joining me tonight. God, I thank you for each and every eye, ear, individual here tonight. I ask that you'll send healing words, healing vibes, change, positive change to each and every person here. Let them take something from the things that I say and be able to use it in their daily lives. Thank you. Amen. Hope your day has been good. As you can see, I still got my spirit family with me. Found a picture of my grandfather and his siblings. Last year sometime I had my mom to pull out some pictures, so they're not the best quality of pictures. You can only get what you can from those pictures back in the day, but this is my grandfather, Robert Carswell, and his two sisters. I do know Uncle George, one of the coolest men I ever seen walk the planet. And these are his two sisters. I don't know their names, but when I check in with their energy, they seem to be some very powerful women, very strong energies I get when I pick them up. One of them reminds me of my auntie Aline, who's also transitioned. This one looked like she didn't play the radio, like Try Me If You Dare. And I'm not sure this uncle's name. It may be Uncle Alfonso or Uncle Z4. Can't remember. But if my family's watching them, they'll correct me. But yeah, so I got them all, Grandma Victoria, Cousin Leola, all of them around me tonight. And yes, again, if you haven't checked out any of my other videos, I have braces, I have rubber bands in my mouth. And I'm going to keep them in there because I was supposed to wear them since November last year. I wasn't wearing them because I wasn't seeing the, I'm like, what is this? What is this? I mean, like these dentists, these orthodontists are not professionals. Like they're telling me something wrong. Like who am I to be questioning them? Well, I did, and I didn't wear them, and my bite was not improving. And I asked them about it the last time. She was like, "Well, you got to start wearing your rubber bands more often." I was like, "You know what? If you just told me in the beginning, because that's the only thing I've been worried about is my bite." Because the spaces are closing, I'm just still concerned about my bite. But if you just said the rubber bands are going to help bring your help heal your bite, my Virgo self need to know exactly who, what, when, where, and why, then I probably would have been wearing these. But so since I know that's what it is, and I'm like, I'm ready, so ready to get these braces out. I don't care if you see these rubber bands in my mouth, because on the other side of these braces off, honey, is a beautiful smile awaiting. And also, as you can see, I have on my little blue lighting glasses. Y'all, I had these for about 3 years, lost them for an entire year or more. I just found them in my bathroom about a week ago. Uh, I have a his and her bathroom sink, and in the middle, I have like this little storage bins, like three drawers, and they have all my makeup and stuff in it, makeup brushes and all of that. And something fell in the bottom drawer, so I had to pull it out to reach down there and get it. And well, I wound up having to lift it, and Lord, lo and behold, here my blue glare glasses are. But thank you, Spirit World. Thank you, God, for reconnecting me with my glasses. Okay, so I have a box of cards, Power Thought Cards, by Louise Hay, Hay. I got this at a social worker continuing education event some years ago. I've used them at my vision board parties a few times. I just lay them out and tell somebody, just pick one, tell my guests, just pick one randomly. And when they would pick one, usually it would always resonate with something that they're going through. And they were like, wow, wow, wow. So I have this little deck, and I'm just going to shuffle it up and just see if one just kind of falls out for us today, or kind of winds up standing up or whatever, and see if there's a positive message for us. The past is over. Is that not what we've been talking about? Leaving the past in the past? On the back, it says, this is a new day, one that I have never lived before. I stay in the now and enjoy each and every moment. In case you want to pause and take a picture. The past is over. Leave that behind. It's so essential to healing the inner child, because we got to get that child that was hurt and torn and broken healed, so they can mature up into whatever age you are. And that little child, when you look back, is a healed child, not a broken, hurt, crying, overlooked child. It's a healed child. Okay? Well, today we're talking about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, otherwise known as emotional quotient or EQ, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. So emotional intelligence comes from a process of learning how to deal with your emotions effectively, basically. So you first of all got to be able to define your feeling, okay? So if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, you need to be able to identify that, yes, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling down. Or if I'm feeling excited, or if I'm feeling happy, you know what I'm saying? You got a vacation coming up, I'm so excited, I can't wait till Friday, or whatever, you know, that's excitement. Or if you're elated, like, I just got this great news, oh my God, I'm elated, I'm just like I'm on a cloud right now. And then you can be down at the bottom, I'm sad, I'm burdened, I feel heavy. Whatever it is, you know, you want to be able to define what you're feeling, because being able to define it lets you know which emotion, where you are on the emotional radar. And if you're down here on the sad, hurt part, you want to move to something higher on the radar. That's more of a happy, satisfied, excited, you know, some of those higher feelings. Okay? Because once you're down here and you're in depressed, sad, anxiety mode, it's definitely hard to manifest at a high level. You're going to manifest, but you're likely going to manifest something on that level. If you want to, well, what my goal is that we manifest abundance. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is Manifestation Goddess, is to heal these wounds so we can truly manifest abundance, prosperity, good relationships in all aspects of our life, and be in good health and all of those good, wonderful, positive things, right? So we don't want to stay in sadness and depression and anger and bitterness and resentment and pettiness. Nobody wants to stay there and manifest more of that foolishness in our lives. We want to manifest, like I said, on an abundant and prosperous level, okay? So, but it's important for you to know where you are, because if you know where you are and you can say it, then you can move forward. So like Monday, I got up, I was just meh. And when I connected the dots back, I can look back and see, I know exactly why I was feeling mad, because Sunday night, I'd had one too many Remy VSOPs and far too little sleep, okay? Bam, whoop, there it is, okay? So Monday, I logged into work. I did what I needed to do. I had little sleep before and got up and was still able to move and be at high vibration. But for some reason, Monday, I was just like meh. But I knew I did not want to stay at meh, because I really love to be in my manifestation goddess mindset. I love to be in a high vibrational mindset. Meh does not do it for me. Mediocrity does not do it for me. Being in the middle does not do it for me. I like to be up here because I want to manifest abundance, like I said, and prosperity, like I said. So what I did was I started just kind of saying affirmations to myself, and at first I just wasn't really feeling it, but I wasn't going to stop there. Okay, I wanted to leave mad and get to happiness, get to excitement about the day. You know, I wanted to be able to pass that energy along to others, and I wanted to receive that energy, but I knew I couldn't really receive it from other people if I'm at meh, you know. So I started affirming things and just telling myself, that you are powerful, you are amazing, you are I'm deserving of happiness. I just start saying all these wonderful things, and it was helping a little bit, but not like I wanted to. So I started, and when you're trying on your own and you still there, it's time to start calling in reinforcement. So I'm like, started praying for my spirit team, to help me, guardian angels, spirit guides, come in and help me. So the next thing you know, I'm realizing, okay, I'm over here on this side of town. And while I'm over here, let me just go ahead and stop by the store and pick up some herbs for my oils. Like, that wasn't on my plan. That wasn't on my list today. I had that not in my plan, but because I'm asking God for guidance to help me get up, and now I got this intuitive gut feeling saying, go by the herb store. I'm obedient, and I go, following the bliss that I'm praying for. And I get to the store, and I had the most beautiful encounter with this young lady, and she was so uh, encouraging, inspirational, and just everything that I needed for Monday. Okay. And when I walked out of there, I mean, I went in on like a 5 or a 6. I walked out of there on a 12 because I was committed to raising my vibration. I was committed to raising my vibration. So by the time I left there, y'all, I was so high on the positive energy. Like, I was still trying to digest it all. And when she was talking to me at the end, but she had said so many things to me in the beginning that I was still stuck on those things. And she was saying things to me, and I was slow to answer because I was so high on positivity. You know what I'm saying? So then later on that day, I found my swag again, y'all. I found that manifestation goddess within to be alive. And I saw this couple, this couple, and they had these 2 older ladies with them in the back seat. And the 2 older ladies had their window down. And the one that was closest to me as I was walking by, to me, everything in my spirit said she was like dementia, like mid-stage dementia, because she had that blank look on her face, like you can see, but there's like, it's like, I don't know if you've ever looked at a person and they're there, but it's like their spirit is like kind of gone, right? So, but I made it my business to make eye contact with her and wave at her and smile and say, hey, how are you, beautiful little old lady? And next thing you know, she looked at me like, who is this girl? But then she smiled, and I knew manifestation goddess is back. I'm back on the scene. And because I refuse to stay at meh, I do not like being at meh. Okay. But again, back to defining where you are. So a few weeks ago, I was talking to this elderly lady over the phone. I called her, checking in on her, and she told me, she said, I don't know how I'm feeling today. And I'm like, you don't know how you're feeling? She's like, no, I had a panic attack today. This is my first time in about 6 or 7 years of having a panic attack. And I'm like, really? I said, well, I think you know what's going on. Just think about it. And so she thought about it, and she told me about being in the hospital recently, which I knew about, and being in there for a few days after having a major fall. And her son is now back to work full time, and she's home by herself during the day, and she is fearful. So we were able to identify she is fearful of falling again and going back to the hospital. And then with him going back to work, she's not sure how she's going to get to doctor's appointments, and She doesn't have her a life alert. So we were able to talk about all these different things and help her to define what really was causing her to feel panicky, and able to connect the dots to what it was. Okay, so it's so important that we connect the dots to what is the root cause of that feeling, and then define it. So if you're feeling depressed, or maybe you're feeling disappointed, say for instance you're in a relationship and you and your significant other plan on Saturday, we're gonna go to dinner and bowling or whatever. I'm just thinking out of the top of my head. Okay, so you guys plan that, and on Saturday at 6:30, you call like you're home and you're dressed. You call like, "Hey, where are you?" Like, "Oh, I'm just over here at my homeboy house and watching the football game," or "We're over here, blah blah blah." You're like, "Hold up. We're supposed to be going out to eat at something like, oh, I forgot," or whatever. But you're over here dressed and you're ready to go, and they forgot. So you have an option of just shutting down and just hanging up the phone. Okay, then hang up the phone. Now you're in your feelings. You're hurt and you're disappointed and you're angry. But you don't say anything. You just sit back, and now everybody knows you have an attitude, but you're not saying anything. And later on, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Okay? That means, to me, if someone is reacting in this way, you have become conditioned not to be able to share your emotions in a healthy manner. You are back in that childhood stage where I used to run up to mama, "Mommy, he hit me," or whatever. "He hurt my hand," or and she's like, "Oh, you'll be okay. Go ahead, move on out the way," or whatever. You come home from school and you tell your mom about your day and how somebody was picking at you. "Oh, girl, forget about them. They don't matter. They don't know you. Blah blah blah." You just dismissing everything about what you were feeling. Or you're on the playground and you run to the teacher and you tell her, "They're calling me names," and she's like, "Girl, we ain't got time for that. It's grown folks over here. Go on back out here. You'll be all right." Those constant dismissals of your emotions has taught us along the way that our emotions, we may as well keep them to ourselves. Because it doesn't matter, nobody's gonna change, but because of my emotions, my feelings. But we're adults now, so we got to learn how to, in this healing journey, we have to learn how to be more intentional with our healing and expressing of ourselves, because we can't move forward if we're just gonna, every time there's something related to feelings that hurt us, we go into the shell. Okay, now I'm disappointed. Now I'm hurt. Now I'm thinking about all the times I've been hurt and disappointed, even from my childhood, and now I can't. I don't know how to express it. I'm just gonna let these feelings build up and fester. It's gonna go from one from 1 to 10 real quick, because after a while I'm gonna wind up exploding. Okay, but emotional intelligence helps us to address it, understand what we're feeling, why we're feeling it, and but it also moves us into communicating our feelings. And in well, you can't say professional if you're in a professional atmosphere, because even in the professional atmosphere, if you're at work and say for instance you are around your peers and your boss belittles you, now you feeling belittled. You need to be able to address that as well. Ms. Jones, I respect you as my manager, but today I felt belittled in front of my peers. I feel like it was very condescending in the way that you spoke to me, and I just want to let you know that I don't mind being corrected, but if you could please just pull me to the side the next time and talk to me one-on-one instead of belittling me in front of others. I mean, I don't like that. It really doesn't make me feel good. And, if I retaliate and talk back to you that way, or if I treated you that way, I'm sure you wouldn't like it. Just put yourself in my shoes for a few minutes. So now you've become empowered by your emotions, by the process of sharing your emotions in a healthy way, instead of just balling up and holding that in and going home and picking up the phone and talking to your girlfriend about it, or telling your mama or your dad about it, or your husband about it, and never addressing it. So getting to the root cause of it. So if the root cause is, my significant other disappointed me, being able to say, I'm disappointed and I'm hurt by what you did. And anybody with any care and concern, if you come to them and communicate, I am feeling this way, they're either going to respect how you're feeling and try to address you by letting you know, apologizing that you know what happened, what went wrong, or it's not going to change how you felt. You have acknowledged how you felt, but you communicated it in an effective way as well. So now it moves towards resolution. You're not holding on to it. You've dealt with it effectively. And now you feel empowered. So when you feel empowered by sharing your emotions, now you can do it more and more and more. That's when you become healed. You learn how to express emotions on a different level. Okay? With my patient, her just having the space where somebody cared enough to say, well, take a few minutes and think about it. What was causing that panic again? Because I'm sure you just need to connect the dots. And when she had the opportunity to connect the dots, I'm feeling panic because I'm fearful going back to the hospital. I'm feeling a lack of resources right now for transportation because I need to follow up with my doctor, with your coworker, your boss, feeling belittled, So you went from feeling belittled to feeling empowered and feeling, satisfactory and feeling satisfied with the outcome because you addressed it as a mature adult who knows how to express their emotions and feelings without having a fit, without, fussing and fighting. I can't say that every time the other person is going to respond maturely. Now, I would say if you come at them maturely and respectfully, that 95% of the time you can expect, that they're going to respect that and respond respectfully as well. Now, there are going to be opportunities that it's not going to happen. And in those situations, you may have to escalate things a little bit. If it's at your job, you may need to, hey, I'm still going to stand up for myself and go to HR and let them know she belittled me in front of others. I felt belittled. And she spoke to me in a condescending manner, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to move you towards moving from that low vibrational, I'm feeling belittled, to I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling satisfied. I'm feeling empowered now because I didn't let someone run over me. I'm not that little girl anymore. I'm not that little boy anymore where people can just say anything or just to me and I don't address how it made me feel. I'm not that little kid anymore where when I tell somebody how I feel, they just dismiss me and push me off. Because if that's how they do it, even if it's in a professional setting, that lets me know that I might need to start looking for higher ups in HR, and if they're not going to do anything, it's probably time for me to start looking for a place that respects me, as an employee, or if I'm in a relationship and I come to you and I tell you how I feel or what you did and how those things caused me to feel, and you don't take it seriously, then I need to make some decisions because I can't stay here where I'm constantly overlooked and I'm constantly presenting to you my emotional, how I feel emotionally in a positive way so that we can, and I'm communicating effectively and I'm being empathetic towards you, but you can't give it back to me, then that means, yes, I still have my emotional intelligence, but I also have my self-awareness intelligence too, that, hey, this is not meeting my needs and I got to move on. Okay. So the basis of this is just being emotionally aware, but also being emotionally intelligent. So not just defining it, which is most important. You got to define how you're feeling. And I encourage you to ask yourself several times throughout the day how you're feeling. When you wake up in the morning, and if you wake up and you're feeling meh, then I encourage you to do like I did. Don't stop until you feel better. If you wake up in the morning and you're angry, connect to dots. What made me angry? What happened last night? We're dealing with things coming at us all day long. We're getting text messages, emails. Our children are texting us. Our significant others are texting us through the middle of the day. And we could be on cloud 10, and then next thing you know, somebody sends a text message and it throws us off, and now we're feeling a certain type of way. Well, what is that certain type of way? Define it. With me, oftentimes, trying to do all of the things that I have on my plate, I sometimes have to sit down and ask, what am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? And I am feeling anxious. I'm feeling anxious right now because, oh Lord, Tuesday morning, I logged into my computer and I had an appointment, a meeting scheduled for 9:30. My boss had scheduled it for me. I didn't have that on my schedule, and me and my Virgo mind that sets a schedule and tries to stick to it. Somebody has added a meeting to my schedule today. I already got meetings planned. I already got things on my schedule for today, and you just changed that. So I started feeling anxiety because now that means I got to rearrange some things that I wasn't intending to do. But once I was able to, okay, Nadia, what am I feeling? Okay, you're feeling a little anxiety, and you're also feeling like someone just overlooked you and just added something to your schedule without asking you. So now that I identify how I'm feeling, now I can decide how I want to deal with it. Okay, I could have, if there were things that I just couldn't rearrange. My manager is understanding enough that if I email her and say, hey, you have this meeting scheduled for 9:30, what's going on with that? But she did send me an email, Nadia, I put this on your schedule so that we can discuss this, that, and whatever, because there's some changes, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I'm not afraid to reach out to her, and if there was something really, really that I couldn't change, and say, hey, manager, I understand the purpose of this meeting. I see that it's on here. Can we please reschedule this until so and so and so and so? Because I didn't put it on my calendar, but I have a call with Mr. Jones at 9:30, or I didn't put it on my schedule, but I have this schedule or whatever. And she would have been happy to work around it, but the initial shock of it all was just like, what? But because I have emotional intelligence and it's something that I work on still, I was able to say, okay, Nadia, you're going to start feeling anxious, and you're also going to feel like she, just overlooked you and just decided to, now she's trying to take control of your day. I could have just went down a long rabbit hole. How dare she put this on my schedule without considering me or whatever. But the meeting was really about us, my role. She was actually looking out for me. So, I could have taken it any kind of way, but because I'm emotionally intelligent, I was like, let's look at this in a positive way instead of in a negative light, and let's move forward. And I'm encouraging you, address your feelings, define them, Connect the dots to exactly why. Okay, I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling angry. Why? Why? What are you feeling and why? Several times throughout the day. When that email comes through, that text message comes through, what are you feeling now and why? Okay, now what's the best way to deal with this so I can still feel empowered and not go back into that shell of, Lord have mercy, my feelings don't matter. Somebody's going to dismiss my feelings. They did it when I was 12. They did it when I was 13, blah, blah, blah. No. Being at, I'm trying to tell this really quickly because I don't want to go too long. When I was at UGA, they encouraged all of us in social work, counseling, therapists, blah, 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 to do therapy, right? And one of my good friends, I haven't seen in a long time, so I hope you listen to this because we've been talking about getting together. And Nadia, I need to get hooked up with you, girl. I need to hook up with you, but we never do. But anyway, I hope you listening. And I've told her this too, so I'm just kidding. But anyway, she referred me to this therapist, and when I walked into the therapist's office, she had all these turtles. They were varying sizes, right? So you had little bitty turtles, you had big turtles, you had medium-sized turtles, just all different sizes. And she asked, "How old are you?" And you would say, "Okay, well, I'm 29 or I'm 30 or however old I was at the time." And she said, "But how old are you emotionally?" And I want you to ask yourself that. How old are you emotionally? Because you can be 65, 75, and like we've discussed before, that one thing that happened to you that really changed you emotionally, that made you go into a shell where your emotional growth was stagnated or stunted, and it just kind of was placed on pause, and nobody has went and hit the pause button to let you know that 12-year-old, tap, 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 12-year-old, you can come out now. It's okay to grow emotionally. Because see, we're one age physically, but emotionally, we're a totally different age because of something, whether it was sexual trauma, physical abuse, or just that one person that told you something mean and hateful, who, like I said before, who had no authority, had no business, no care, no concern in your life, but they said it, and now they hurt you at 12, and now you feel like, I don't matter. How old are you emotionally? How old were you when you stopped growing emotionally? What was it? I need you to connect those dots. What was it? What was it that happened to me emotionally? And what age was it when I stopped growing emotionally? So although I'm 54, you know what? I'm actually 18 emotionally. I'm actually 17 emotionally. I'm actually 12 emotionally. If that's the case, you've got to learn to really define what you're feeling. You need to maybe even be journaling and making a conscious decision to ask yourself, when you wake up in the morning, what am I feeling? When that text message comes through, what did that just make me feel like? Did it make me feel good? Did it make me feel bad? Do I feel hurt? Do I feel disappointed? Do I feel sad? What? Now that you have defined how you feel, how are you going to move to a higher vibrational word? Again, you can manifest on this low feeling of sadness and bitterness, but it's not going to be on the level of abundance. You need to move beyond that. So if that means your affirmations, putting your stickies on your refrigerator, on your mirror, in your car, listening to motivational speakers, you can go to YouTube and find some excellent motivational speeches. Listen to it for a few minutes in the morning on your way to work. Turn on you some high-spirited music. I mean, for those of you who really love gospel music, for those of you who can throw on some little trap or music or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I saw this girl was talking about how she can find inspirations in rap music, you know what I'm saying, and affirmations in that. You know, INDEPENDENT. She was like, that's a word in that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can maybe find a word in that. Whatever it takes, okay, to get you from low to high. And be like I was on Monday. Don't stop until you get to a higher level, because you want to manifest abundance. Okay? So I'm going to stop there. Well, I think I am. I'm going to say this again. Emotional intelligence. Defining it. I just have to repeat myself, because just in case you tuned out 2 minutes ago when I said it, I'm going to say it one more time. Emotional intelligence is your ability to, of course, define what you're feeling. State it. What am I feeling? Understanding why you're feeling it. Then moving it on in a positive, mature way so that you can still communicate effectively and positively, so that you can diffuse any conflict. You know, you may have, sometimes you have to, deal with things head on, but it doesn't have to get to the point that's blown out of proportion. When you have emotional intelligence, you'll know how to move from identifying to dealing with it. And by the end, you're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel better. You're going to be at the higher vibrational level. And the more you do this, the better at it you become. And the more of a manifestation goddess or God you will become. Okay? So if you enjoyed this content tonight, I encourage you to share this information with others. If you would like to buy a spiritual oil from me, you can hit me up on any of my social media, or you can email me at manifestationgoddessllc@gmail.com for any of the services that I provide, including spiritual assessments. And if you just want to donate because you feel like this is a good message, and I want to help this manifestation goddess with expanding her platform to other people through promoting and marketing her services and all this wonderful healing spiritual content, because you resonate with it and that other people need it. Just hit me up. I have my Zelle manifestation, which is the same as my email. And my name is Nadia, last name Rucker, RUCKER. You can do that on Zelle, or you can cash at me at Manif, MANIF Goddess. The dollar sign comes first. And I appreciate you all. If nothing else, you don't have to do anything. Just know, because Spirit's going to take care of me, but just know when you bless me, you're going to get it back tenfold, 100-fold. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I am the manifestation goddess and your real estate homegirl, and I'm signing off. You guys have a beautiful day. No. Grab yourself and say, I am. State your name. I am manifesting abundance in all areas of my life by healing my childhood traumas. I am emotionally intelligent. I am deserving. Good night.